I'm Luke, and I am the host today, and Jeremy is the co-host. And we've got a wonderful program, very inspiring program prepared for everybody today. Welcome, everybody. Esther, welcome. Joseph and Susan, Sharon, Bridget, Carolyn, May Chen, Rhonda, Nehemiah, Betty. Welcome, everybody. This is the Sunday call for Ancient Secrets, and it's all based on the book Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, which I forgot to bring over to my desk. And so we meet every Sunday morning here at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And today's topic is manifesting your reality. And we'll talk about that in a little bit as we welcome people to come in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Nehemiah, Rhonda, Sybil. So today is a beautiful Sunday, a week after the Sedona event. I know we're all still bathing in that beautiful energy of Sedona. Big thanks to Joseph and Susan for their facilitating of that event. It was really, they helped to make it really, really extraordinary. Thank you, Joseph and Susan. Good morning, Shifra. Good to see you here.
Good morning, Luke.
Yeah, Deborah Ann. So, as I mentioned, today's topic is manifesting your reality, and we'll talk about that. We'll do sharing about that. We'll just let some more people come in. While we're letting people come in, why don't we put up the disclaimer, Robin, please? So the beautiful quote from the book, in the beginning of the book, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. It's just, that is a beautiful premise of the book and our community. And the information shared on this call is intended for educational purposes only. It's not meant to diagnose or treat any medical or emotional condition. Please see the medical disclaimer in the beginning of the pages of Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer or on the website, myancientsecrets.com, for full details. Always talk to your doctor before making any health-related changes. Thank you, Robin. So we'll have some announcements. Katie, can we have the announcements, please?
Yes, good morning, afternoon, day to everyone. It's so good to see people here. So tonight, Dr. Clint is going to be in New York at the St. Bart's Cathedral in New York City from 7 to 10 with an open invitation for anyone who can make it to join him at this amazing looking gathering of the Nakaloka Immersive Benefit Concert. The benefit goes to all of our children in Nepal, and it looks like an extraordinary event of music and meditation and chanting, and I don't know what all else, but it looks gorgeous. There's a link to that in the email newsletter that went out if you're interested and able to do that. We have the Miracle Experiment game coming up starting July 12th. And I know some of us have participated in that before. It's been quite a while since we've had the opportunity for this 30-day experience of applying the ancient secrets. So there's a link for that also in the email, and I encourage you to participate if you're able to. We have the Portuguese Ancient Secrets Community Zoom call on June 24th, Asia Pacific call June 27th and 28th. And we have our self-guided courses that are recorded. So anytime you wish to avail yourselves of those are available to you. We have the Ancient Secrets 101, which is kind of the basic introduction to the ancient secrets. The Ancient Secrets 100-day experience, which is amazing. The things that you learn can change your life, truly, for all of these. There's the 30-day delicious detox option to do yourself, and also the 7-day delicious detox. And there is more information about all of those in the links that are on the email newsletter that came to you. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much, Katie. As you're coming into the room today, if you're new here, if this is your first time attending our Ancient Secrets community call, please put into the chat that you're new and your name so we can welcome you. That would be wonderful. And Jared, maybe you could keep an eye on that. So we're going to drop from our heads to our hearts now and do a little breathing and a little meditation so we can just settle into this beautiful day and into this inspiring call. So, Vinay, could you bring up that meditation music? So first, we're going to do a little breathing exercise to just relax. So we're going to take a deep breath for 4 seconds. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 4. So let's do that for a little bit. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. Just let that beautiful music, just bathe in that beautiful music. You can watch the beautiful images on the screen if you want. And breathe in again. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. And we'll just do that one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Breathe out through your mouth for 4. You can even let out a sigh. This helps your body to relax. If you can close your eyes now, but you can keep them open and watch the beautiful images on the screen. And just settle into a meditative state. You can imagine a beautiful golden light at the crown center. It's beautiful golden light coming into your crown center. See that beautiful crown, that beautiful gold light coming and spreading through your body. That beautiful golden light is permeating your entire being. It's filling you up with golden light. And you could feel that Kundalini energy slowly rising up your spine through each energy center. Just keep relaxing, relaxing. Take in that beautiful music. Feel the golden glow through your entire body. Oh, it's so beautiful. Just feel it. Now we will take a minute or two of just silent meditation. Enjoy. Slowly, slowly bring your consciousness back. Slowly allow yourself to bathe the beauty of this score permeating you. Beautiful music that is playing. Allow your consciousness to come back, feeling very, very relaxed. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. That was beautiful. I could have just kept on going and going. That was just so lovely. All right, well, thank you for the music. So as I mentioned, our theme for today is manifesting your reality. It's an interesting topic that we'll talk about. How do we go about doing that? And then we'll share. Everybody will share about their own experiences with manifesting their reality. So let's bring up the quote that I chose from the book, please. When you discover what you want, achieve what you want, and are enjoying what you've achieved, you become a nucleus with a ripple effect. You start influencing the world in positive ways. And that was quoted by Dr. Pankaj Naram. And it's on page 216 of our book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. Thank you. We'll talk about manifesting our reality, and then we're going to talk about the fact that we have a number of wonderful tools in our Ancient Secrets community for manifesting our reality. So what is manifesting our reality? How do we go about it? One way to do it is to do a practice called creating your day. Now, when we mention creating your day, many people might think of Dr. Joe Dispenza because he talks a lot about creating your day. And the funny thing is, Joe and I learned about creating your day and manifesting your reality from the same place. We were in the same school for many, many years in Yale, Washington, the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, where Ramtha taught us about manifesting our reality. Ariana was in that school also, and Robin Lee. And we learned about manifesting our reality. We would do lots of disciplines totally blindfolded and learn how to see with our brains instead of our eyes. And when we share later, I'll talk about some of the experiences there and some of my personal experiences and the ways I manifested my reality. But the thing is, when you're manifesting your reality, there's a vibrational frequency that's very important. And here's something to consider. The universe does not give you what you want. The universe gives you who you are. And I'll say that again. The universe doesn't give you what you want. The universe gives you who you are. And by that I mean, the universe gives you where you're at with your vibrational frequency. Everything is vibrational frequency. Everything that exists, the chair you're sitting on, the table you're sitting next to, the clothes you wear, everything's vibrational frequency. Atomic structure, vibrating trillions of times per second to make things seem that they are solid. So if you're in a low vibrational frequency, let's say you're not happy, you're feeling depressed, and you want to be happy, you're trying to manifest happiness in your life, affirmations are just not going to do it. If you're feeling unhappy and you're in a low vibrational frequency and you're doing affirmations or prayers, oh, please let me be happy, please let me be happy, the universe cannot match that for you because you're in a low vibrational state. So it's important to raise your vibration. And there's lots and lots of ways we can do that. Meditation, like what we just did, that's a wonderful way to raise your vibration. Practices like doing yogic asanas, the postures, Qigong. I practice Qigong for many years now. Qigong is a great way to raise your vibration. Helping somebody. When you go out and help somebody, that's a wonderful way to raise your vibration. And then when you're in a higher vibrational state, you're in a better place to manifest your reality. And the universe recognizes where you are, and there's a better possibility of you manifesting what you want. So it's something very, very important to consider. 3 years ago, I got COVID, and I didn't even test until 2 weeks later. So by the time I tested, it was negative. But I was in bed for 6.5 weeks. It was terrible. I was miserable. But because I know with all certainty that we are both simultaneously these human bodies and divine infinite consciousness at the same time, I would just shift my attention from this suffering body to who I am as divine consciousness. And I would lie there and focus and bring my attention to that and raise my energy and feel the Kundalini energy, raising in my body as I lied there. And it helped so much. It helped to raise my vibration as I focused on my healing. And the thing about manifestation, it doesn't always happen overnight. Sometimes it's spontaneous, but oftentimes it's not. So it's important to be patient as we manifest our reality. So there's so many different ways that we can, manifest our reality. Some people make the mistake of saying what they don't want. Oh, I'm so poor. Please, I want to create that I'm not poor anymore. Please let me not be poor anymore. Well, the universe hears the word poor, and it gives you more of what you don't want. So when you're in a high vibrational state, it's important to really, really feel that energy in you. Feel that beautiful vibrational energy in you. And then focus on what you want. When we were in the Ramtha school, we focused through our frontal lobe, and we put that out there. And also it's important to focus on what you want, but not try so hard. And that's a great way that we manifest our reality. So we're going to do some sharing in a moment to hear people's experiences of manifesting their own reality. Before we do, and I'm going to give a little story, after we do this, but I want to play a very inspiring song. At the last evening of the Sedona event, when I was walking around, I noticed Jerem giving a CD to somebody. And he was asking if that person had a CD player. So as I walked by, I said to Jerem, I have a CD player, can I have one? So Jerem gave me the CD, and it was a CD that he made many years ago with he and Nell singing. And when I got home and I put that CD into my car, from the very first note, I was blown away. Jerem has a beautiful, beautiful, sweet voice. And I've listened to that whole CD multiple times. Sometimes I think he sounds like Gordon Lightfoot. It's a beautiful, beautiful, just a gorgeous voice. And Nell sometimes sings with him. So we picked out a song to play as an inspiring thing today as we manifest our reality, because we're manifesting happiness and joy today. So let's listen to Jerem and Nell singing this beautiful song.
Feels like hard times may be coming. For some of us, they're already here. I hear the wheels of change humming, sound of drums drawing near. Sometimes I think I may be ready for whatever's coming down. Guess I just can't feel too heavy with my loved ones all around. Everything passes and someday we'll learn. Whatever you give in love, always return. it's love you need to live on. The happiness is in your soul. The Lord gives everything to pass on. Love's not something you're supposed to hold. Everything passes, and someday we'll learn. Whatever you give in love, always return. Love is still, love has motion, and it may catch you from behind. So let it flow, just like an ocean. What you need, you'll always find. Everything passes, and someday we'll learn. Whatever you give in love, always return. Everything passes, and someday we'll learn. Whatever you give in love, always returns.
Wasn't it just so beautiful? Thank you, thank you. And the harmonizing with Jerem and Nell. Let's put our hands together and sing Jerem and Nell some beautiful song, because that is the one way to raise your vibration with beautiful music. Thank you so much, Nell and Jerem. Absolutely stunning. And I really do think you sound a little bit like Gordon Lightfoot. So beautiful. Thank you so much.
Very welcome, Luke.
So before and again, music is a wonderful way to raise your vibration. And from that state, you can manifest pretty much anything you want. I know I feel fantastic now after listening to that song. Before we get into our shares, we have a number of tools and ancient secrets for manifesting our reality. The marmas, our beautiful marmas, are perfect for manifesting your reality. We're going to do a couple of them right now. We're going to do the What Do I Want Marma. Now, Dr. Naram has clearly said the more vivid you can create your image of what you want, the sooner it will manifest. So let's do the What Do I Want Marma. So the way this works is, and I know many of us have done this many times, there might be some new people here. You put a white frame over your right eye. And we're going to press on the pointer finger of the right hand with the two fingers on your left hand like this, on the nail. You put in that white frame first the words, what do I want? Now, put that white frame over your right eye, put the words in there, what do I want, and see it clearly, and press on your pointer finger on the top 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do I want? Now put into that white frame something that you want. You could see it as words or see it as an image, but see it clearly. And remember, we are all in a higher vibrational state now after meditation and listening to music. So let that energy flow through you. Just feel that beautiful, beautiful energy of manifestation within you. And put into that white frame something that you want, but see it not as what's something in the future. See it as it's here now. You've already manifested it. And see it clearly. And press that finger 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now put something else into that white frame that you want to manifest. Whatever it is, words, image, and you've already manifested it. You are in a high vibrational state right now. You can manifest anything you want. Whatever you put into that white frame is already manifested. It's already there. See it that way and press 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Now move your finger to the middle part of that pointer finger between the 2 knuckles and put into that white frame your highest priority of what you want to manifest, what you want to create. And see it very, very clearly as if it's already here. This is your highest priority. See it clearly and press in the middle part of your finger between the 2 knuckles 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now move your finger down to the bottom part of that pointer finger between the bottom 2 knuckles. Now that you've manifested what you want, what is life like? What's it like for you? Whatever that image is, what is life like for you? And press 6 times as you see that image of what life is like for you right now that you've manifested what you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to anchor that in. So we're going to go 7 fingers down on your right arm. So take your left hand and go like this. And then fold it over. So it's 7 fingers down on that point there. You're going to press 6 times on that point on your right arm, 7 fingers down. This anchors it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That anchors it in. And now pat yourself up here. Very good. Well done.
Can you show that spot again?
Yeah, yes.
Not clear to me. I'm sorry.
Sure. All right. So it's your right forearm. Okay. And you take 4 fingers like this. You see that?
Yeah.
And flip it over. And then so when you flip it over, that's 4 more fingers, but just go 3 fingers. So that's 4 and 3, that's 7 fingers. And on that spot for 7 fingers.
And is it on the right or the left of your
You're doing it on the right forearm,
I know that, but is it on the outer part of your arm or the inner part of the middle?
This right here, this part right here, the inner part.
So it's just all across with your thumb like this?
You come down from here, see?
Yeah.
And then down like that. So it's about right over here.
And it's right in the middle that you're pressing, in the middle?
Wherever those 7 fingers land for you.
No, I'm just saying, is it all across your arm or is it just the middle of is it right like here?
It's pretty much in the middle where you're pointing right now, Shifra.
Okay,
So it's really
that was what I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's in the middle, but those 7 fingers land differently for everybody. So, but it's the 7 fingers down. It's about the middle of that inner forearm. Okay. All right, very good. Yeah, so we're going to do one more. The forgive and let go, Mama, is another one to manifest our reality. Sometimes you want to forgive somebody else. Sometimes you want to forgive yourself. So the way we do this is, you know what? Jerem is a master at this, Marma. So I'm going to let Jerem do this one. Go ahead, Jerem. Take it away for forgive and let go.
Okay, so this marba, we're going to take our left hand and put our fingers parallel to the floor. And we're going to grasp with our right thumb and index finger the fleshy part between those fingers and the thumb that's pointing upward. And find a spot that's kind of sore in that fleshy area there. If it's sore, you know you're in the right place. and be kind to yourself. Don't go too strongly. And as we're beginning this, imagine a red frame in front of your left eye. And inside that frame is a person or yourself that you are right now choosing to forgive and let go rather than hold on to anything that is not in the highest vibration of love. So we're going to do this, squeeze this point 6 times 6. And here we go. Picture that being inside that red frame, squeezing 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bow to the masters of the Siddhaveda lineage who have given us this amazing tool to release anything other than love and replace it with the highest vibration of love. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Letting go and forgiving feels so much better than anything else. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm feeling lighter as I do this. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm choosing to remember to do this on a daily basis or even a moment-to-moment basis whenever I'm feeling outside of that beautiful envelope of love. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bow in gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Thank you so much, Jerem. I'm seeing in the comments a lot of love for your music. A lot of people want that CD now. I hope you have plenty of CDs on hand.
I put my contact information in the chat, Luke, and I'm happy to get the CD to people. And if they don't have a CD player, which is now antique technology, I could probably send some MP3s.
Thank you very much. Okay. So again, those are some beautiful ways that we have to manifest our reality. And we're in a high vibrational state, so that's the perfect way to manifest. And like I said, it's important to be patient because things don't always manifest immediately. You have to give yourself time. So I'm going to give an example of the way I've manifested reality with something that I was doing, and then let's everybody share. So again, when I was in the Ramtha school and he taught us how to manifest our reality, we did all of our disciplines blindfolded. And Dr. Clint has talked about something he had done. He learned about being blindfolded and being able to see without your eyes. And that's what we did in that school all the time. We learned how to see without our eyes. We focused through the frontal lobe and we would focus on what we want. And one of the biggest disciplines that we would do, and I'm sure Ariana and Robin, you'll remember this, we would do this exercise called field work, where we put on a 5x7 card something we want to manifest. And this is something that you could still do today. I often draw on cards things I want to manifest. On my bulletin board behind me, I have a whole load of them, and focus on the things you want to manifest. So we would draw on a 5x7 card and colored pencils or markers what we want to manifest. 2 cards. And then we give it to other people, and it would go out onto this field, this huge field with a white fence. This is a gorgeous property, 100 acres. This huge field with a white fence all around, and so the top post and the middle post. And then we'd all go out there, hundreds and hundreds of people, sometimes 1,000 people out there on this field, all blindfolded. And then we have our hands in this kind of a mudra, and we would do this breathing exercises, and we'd walk the field, focusing. When you try too hard, it's difficult to manifest what you want. So it's about putting it out there and letting it go and not trying so hard. And it's amazing what happens is when you are focusing, you finally bump into that card on the fence that's yours. And you actually find it amongst sometimes 1,000 cards out there. It was an incredible experience to turn it over, and it's your card. One time I manifested 3 cards in one field. So to manifest your card is something, but then to manifest what's on the card is another whole step. And I've done that. One time I stayed out there and I manifested, I was trying to sell my online business. And I stayed out there for a long time focusing on this on a very, very hot day in June. And a lot of people had already left the field because it was so hot, but I stayed there. And I found my card and I put on that card the amount I wanted to sell my business for. And that was June of 2006. And that business sold in October 2006 for a very close amount to what I put on there. So it happened just 4 months later. So when you have focused intent in a high vibrational state, that's where things manifest. And again, doing the what do I want Marma is a fantastic tool that we have to manifest your reality. So that's an experience of mine. I would love to hear from other people now. So if you have an experience that you'd like to share of manifesting your reality or have any questions, please put up your virtual hand and let's do some sharing. I'm sure there's lots of stories that people can share. Hi, Bree. I see you smiling there. It's good to see you, Bree.
It's good to see you too, Luke. Yeah,
Wow,
what?
I miss your shining face. We had a beautiful dinner. We wish you were with at dinner the last night with Tony and your two boys. It was just a beautiful time. So good to see you.
It's good to be here, Luke. I
Yeah,
have something recently that I would love to share that I'm learning about
go
reality
ahead.
and manifestation and all of that, because this is
Sure.
one of my passions, is to figure out what the illusion really is. And as I've been studying and learning, and all of this stuff that we're talking about the being, and that's, you manifest who you are and all of that, it didn't click until I actually had the experiences that I've had recently around realizing that the center in which you live in self, and I like to call it like your soul center, that is unmovable and true. It's that, that God essence that came in and is, animating the meat suit, for lack of a better word, that gets covered by all the gunk and the thoughts and the things. Manifestation is not something that happens through doing. It's not something that happens through thinking. It's something that happens through your being. So we're practicing being. And in that beingness is what communicates to everything around us, because everything's vibration and frequency, and all vibration carries information. And that information is coming from your antenna or your cell tower, for lack of a better word. We're just going to go with technology in that space. And when our own signals are scrambled in self and we don't have the clarity of, here I am, which the easiest way I've been able to help people find that is by remembering a time you felt most like yourself. And as you remember a time you felt most like yourself, and you can even do that right now, you can close your eyes and you can remember a time you felt most like yourself. And you can breathe that into yourself and notice how that slowly starts to dissolve the other things around you. That part is your being. That being is then what magnetizes everything around you, that then reorganizes like cymatics, because that frequency is what communicates to the universe. And you have to get out of your mind in order to actually get into the being part, because it's not about the thoughts. You can't think yourself in and out of anything. You just you're just trying to make stories, and that's kind of here in the earthly realm. That's not actually the divinity way of creation, which is through being. And as we sit there and do that, I notice, because I'm playing with this consciously, recently at the airport when stuff was not working and my sister was trying to get somewhere and I sat there and helped her, I just went back into breathing myself back into myself, remembering when I felt most like myself, and just smiling and letting go of how many times it took for the flights to reorganize around my sister's trip. Probably 5 different times. I sat there at the counter for an hour on Wednesday. And as I just brought in joy and playfulness to the lady, her name was Ruth, working behind the counter, and we were just being silly and all this stuff, everything that she'd finally get something and it'd fall through, and she'd get another thing and then it'd fall through. And I think about the cymatics, where there's the disorganization before the pattern actually is created in physical realm through the frequency that's vibrating the molecules. And as that happened, all of a sudden I could see that she was just like a little bit discouraged. She hadn't given up yet. And all of a sudden she just goes, oh my gosh, she said, we were in Charlotte, North Carolina. She's like, I don't know what button I pushed. I don't know where this came from because I'd never seen this before, but we're going to go through Kansas City. So going through Kansas City, which wasn't even on her radar, it just popped up on the screen. She wasn't touching any buttons. So this is where you talk about manifestation of how we're materializing spirit through our being. And you never waver from that image of like, I just saw her in Alaska and it's all working out and bringing in that joy. Then all of a sudden, that's when the miracles popped in and it was effortless.
Right. I agree. I completely agree with you, Bree. And that's what I was talking about before in terms of vibrational frequency. So thank you. Thank you. Great example. You and Tony, one of your greatest manifestations are the amazing, brilliant children that you both manifested.
Well, yeah, yes. And I love my kids are my greatest life work besides myself.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Bree. It's good to see you. Okay. Ariana, please.
So great to see you, Bree. Oh my gosh, I love everything you said and Lucas said. And for me, my experience, especially with what Luke was talking about in that field, so to speak, the important thing is exactly what my learning is exactly what you're talking about, Bree. I couldn't be of this world. If you were of this world, if you were in ego, if you were trying, if you were in your thoughts, you know what would happen with 1,000 people in to me, that was a tiny little horse paddock. Seriously, you would bump into people continually. You're trying to hold a thought and you bump into someone and what happens? Boom, you're back here in this reality, back in your thoughts. Oh, who did that? And sometimes in the beginning you'd have emotional reactions like, God, what's going on here? And it would keep bringing you back to this human 3D place. And what I learned, and then sometimes we'd be out there in all kinds of weather, and those things distract you. They distract you from your soul, from the beingness of being you. They distract you. And it was the most fabulous thing because to train yourself to be and to keep, and it's here, our little marma that we do. It's here, being, connecting with source, connecting with our soul, with source. And source for me is you can go in and you've got the whole Akashic records and all that is and all that knowledge up in that frequency. So you're up in that frequency and you're connected with soul. You're connected with everything. All the answers are there. The frequency will bring you, open up. The miracle happens like you were talking about, Bree. Everything you were talking about, Luke. It's so exciting. And I think when we put ourselves in a frequency of joy and love, that's so high. Those two frequencies are so high. And that's when we can really help connect, just when we're just every day, you keeping yourself there in that frequency. And I just think I love this discussion because for me, that's so exciting. And that is where manifestation happens, no matter what you're manifesting. You can be manifesting, you've got abundance, you're grateful, you created it. You've got whatever, for me and for I know a lot of you, it's like, wow, when we take it beyond self now and go into serving. And I mean, what does that ripple create in the world, right? I mean, it changes the world. And I'm so excited.
Yeah,
all right.
Thank
That's
you.
all I have to say.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes, we had some great training in that school to be in that field and the way we manifested. And sometimes, with hundreds and hundreds, sometimes 1,000 people out there, if you were in the zone, really in the zone, you wouldn't even bump into anybody. You'd walk across the field and not bump into a single person because you're in that zone. And again, it's without trying. Yeah. When you manifest, you have to
the
be
morphogenic field.
You have to be in a state of just not trying, and that's when the manifestation occurs. Schiffer, please.
Hi, it's good to be here. And I think I have a couple questions and also I had an experience recently, like, just to be perfectly honest, I'm pretty in tune with what's happening in the world, and I know that can be difficult for people. And I feel like last week I just got very angry in the Zoom call when the breakout room, and that wasn't really how I was wanting to be, and I'm sorry for that. That's not how I want to be in the world. It's confusing to me, how to kind of, like Ariana was saying, be of the world but not in the world. And I had an experience the other day because I just really had a very hard time, and I saw there's a mural of Frida Kahlo, and she's an artist that I love, and it's a really beautiful mural of her, and I was kind of meditating and praying there, and I had like a very powerful experience of just I don't want to get into it too deeply, but just sort of being full of light and just full of love. And when I left there, um I I had my clarinet, and sometimes it doesn't sound right, but I ended up, I was in a high vibration state, and I was in the square, and there happened to be there's a clay studio, and he was, closing up, but he was still open, and I talked to him about what he did. People can come in and make pottery and stuff like that. I've never done much of that, but we just had it, but he's also, but that's an art form as well, and so I came in and we talked for a while, and about how the clay can, they sometimes say God is like the potter and we're the clay, but I've heard potters say that when they make a pot, the pot also changes them at the same time. And and then I started playing the clarinet for him, and I was just in the zone, and I felt connected to everything, and just felt like a prayer went out for myself, for him, and for the whole world. And that was really powerful. And I've had many, many, many experiences like that. Getting to Sedona. And I agree that when you're trying too hard, you can't have it. It doesn't work if you try too hard. But I guess my question is, like, what does one do with, what do I want? I want there to be peace. I want I want there to be peace in Iran. I want a sane government. I want the people in Israel and Palestine and Iran. I want them to live in freedom. I want aid to go to people. I want it to be a just and loving world. But I sometimes don't know what to do, because when I see the opposite of it, whether it's on a personal level or on a planetary level, it's very hard for me to just disengage from that. And and I I guess I'm asking, how does one do that? And I guess what I'm asking for myself is, you know, help with that, prayers for that, for me and for everyone here, and also for the power of love that exists in this community to help us, yes, in our personal lives, but also our planet right now, that it can be a more loving and peaceful place where love reigns. And so I don't become consumed with upset about what is happening. I don't want to ignore it. That's my question, I guess. Thanks.
Okay, well, that's something for you to consider on your own and work out. I don't know if there's one single answer for that, Shifra. We're talking about ways that we manifest our reality today. So I encourage you to manifest your reality.
Um,
Kami, what's that? Sorry.
well, yes, I'm just saying, like, I hope we can manifest in our personal lives, but I also hope that the love and the power of this community can be used to manifest a better reality in the world around us, you know? yes, I want things in my own life. Yes, absolutely. But I also want that for the entire world. For me, it's not just about manifesting my own personal desires, which are important, but it's also about having a broader picture of that in the larger world. And my understanding is that this community is about that. It's not just about on a personal level what I want, but that it's on a collective level as well. That's it. That's you know, that's what I'm asking about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there are like 5 people waiting to be heard.
Yes, let's move on, please. So we have the amount, and we're drawing near, so if we can keep it relatively short, Nehemiah, please.
Okay, tough job to ask Nehemiah to keep it short, but I'll do my best. The first thing I want to share is basically that I have 2 things to share. That I always ask for one thing because I know what I want. I already know it for a long time. And there are many things, but I really want most, give me the kingdom of heaven and everything will be added to me. And that's what I ask for. And this time I was pushing it a little bit. I said, God, I want to move fast because there's so much work to do in the world. So God moved me fast. I became sick, everything, big purification, I almost died. But I handled it and I'm back in good shape. Almost was in ER and all this. So this was manifestation on a big time, and I'm more healthy than I was before this crisis happened, and more and wiser, or more experienced. And by the way, there's so much wisdom flowing through this group. And look, your meditation. I mean, I could just sit here and compliment everybody, but I'll not do it. Everybody, including you, Shifra, now, with your honesty. So I continue the conversation I had with Shifra yesterday, because we both go through this identification with our homeland. So an attachment towards it. So what's happening? I was in a birthday party for one of my 6 masters. I have a lineage of 6 masters. And someone approached me, and she was somebody who worked on my ego a lot because she insulted me every time I met her. And she's a friend of mine, but she didn't remember that. She completely didn't remember it, and I didn't remind her. And she's a doctor for what do you call it? For comparative spirituality, and she knows a lot. She's from India. And we shared, and we both got the same information. And the information that I got that I want to share with the group is this, which is connected to what Shifra is talking about. My master, my gong master, Don Conroe, who is a student of Yogananda, calculated, and is the top mathematician that I met, that Kali Yuga is going to start to end this year, but it's going to be a tough time before. And other masters found that in the Mahayan culture, 26,000 years of egocentric are going to start to end this year, and we are moving to 26,000 of trans-egocentric. But the transition ain't easy. So this woman that came to me, forgot that she heard me, I didn't care about it anymore. She gave me the same information that I have, but multiply, because she collected it from other sources. And what she had was that the process of transition might take 7 years. Can we speed it up? I don't know. But can we be the force of positive power? Yes, we can. And we are. And I concur with you, Luke, so much. It's not what we have to work is in purifying ourselves, purifying our intention. This is an opportunity for us to grow through all the stuff that is thrown at us. Because everybody read the news, everybody knows that the people who run the world are very contracted without getting into politics, and they'll become more and more contracted. But they don't run the world. Somebody came to the president of America, a young child, and told him, "You make one mistake," and Donald Trump had to stop because he took him on his lap. I finish.
I'm truly sorry. I'm truly sorry, but we have 3 more people who want to share.
So I'll just finish the last sentence. He told the president of the United States, You make one mistake, you are not running the world. You are just somebody else above you run the world. So there's someone that's running the world or something or whatever you call it. So I want to comfort everybody. Somebody who runs the world and knows what he's doing. He or she or that, whatever you call it. Thank you. I'm sorry I was long here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nehemiah. Nell and Jerem, please. You're muted, Jerem.
Thank you, Nim. Have a brief one. Nell and I were selling our house a few years ago, and we used the "What do I want" Marma over and over and over again. And it was amazing. I mean, we had miracle after miracle. But the one that stands out for me is that we had some smoke coming into our house from the chimney. Smoke was backing up into the house, which was obviously not a good thing. And we had a chimney person come in. He looked at it and he said, you've got a real problem here and it needs major attention. It's going to be $4,000 to $5,000. And we both didn't quite feel right about that. And Nell called the chimney company and said, we need, someone else to take another look at it. Anyway, we had a man come in, lovely guy, same company, went, looked at the chimney. He said, no, that's not what's going on. You need this and this, and you buy a bottle of this. Long story short, $250 instead of $4,000 to $5,000. So we were, needless to say, very grateful. What do I want?
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, we have right here the tools and ancient secrets to manifest our reality. Great story, Jerem. Robin, please.
Yes, just quickly. So I love actually merging all the things that I learned in Ramtha school with the things that I learned in the ancient secrets. So I apply them with my mind. I don't always have to have the physical herb, and so that's one of the really fun things that I've been playing with, because as we get used to that, our minds are so powerful, the more we test it, the more cool things manifest to show us how powerful our mind is. And then I wanted to say that that our after call conversation last Sunday is actually the inspiration for the call that I'm going to be hosting on July the 13th on what it takes to heal and be healed and become one who can help others heal on the individual and the collective basis. And so Shifra and I and a couple of others were in the main room, and we had a conversation that led to my wanting to do that call that I will do on July 13th.
Thank you very much, Robin. Francisco, please.
Yes, hi. I just wanted to briefly mention something regarding what you, Luke, mentioned about Joe Dispenza. As he mentions, as well as Wayne Dyers, that thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And that I can be eating all the right things and doing all the wonderful tools at disposal like marmas, etc. But if I'm stuck to the past, for example, I'm dealing with a resentment still with a friend, a schoolmate, etc. And I'm stuck with the past of things. I'm running a software that it gets me stuck there. So I can be eating all the right stuff, doing all the marmot that are right stuff. But if I'm feeding myself with non-elevated emotions, I won't be able to manifest that which I really want. I have to substitute that with elevated emotions. And once I'm able to do that, and I have personally felt it, then that process of manifesting what I really want with elevated emotions and serendipities and things like once Dyers mentioned that he was lacking something, and suddenly he got a check out of nowhere in his mail. Those kind of things. I've experienced that. I have to work still with that. Not be stuck in the past as substituting bad emotions with elevated emotions such as love, giving, and all that. That's all.
Well, Francisco, I completely agree with you. And that's what I was talking about before. It has to do with vibratory frequency. In the movie The Secret, they make a point of saying, you can't just do affirmations. They even say you have to be in an emotional state. You have to feel it. Manifestation is about feeling. And even Devananda mentioned in the chat, it's about imagining. It's a combination of an imagination, imagining what you want, a high vibrational state, a really great emotional state. And this is the recipe for manifestation. So yes, I agree with you. Cornelia, please.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add to that, that one of the greatest emotions we can actually produce is the feeling of gratitude, to see whatever we want to have already here and being grateful for that. And I can give you a quick example. I wanted to do a training, and no one hired me for that training. And I had done everything I could. Really, I went even to Ireland and to speak to the right people, but no position was open. And I went back home and I was really devastated. And I'm kind of thinking, okay, so what do I need to do? I need to see myself being in the training. I need to be grateful for being there. And I wrote in my diary and even asked for help and said, God, if that is what you want me to do, I'm grateful that I have it. And within an hour, I got a phone call from somebody I didn't know, and he offered me a job if I were ready to go to Chester in England. I had no idea where it was, but I said yes, and I went to the training 4 days later. So for me, it was this combination of really being sure what I wanted, but also being grateful for already having it, that really made that switch, that somebody out in the ether I didn't even know called me and just saying, I saw that you would go anywhere, so would you be willing to come to Chester and work for me? And that is also what Dr. Joe Dispenza always says, gratitude is the highest vibration we can have. So if you go about everything and already feeling grateful for what you want, then it's most likely going to happen. And I've seen it over and over again.
I agree with you, Cornelia. That's beautiful. Thank you. And I meant to mention that earlier in terms of different ways to raise your vibration is gratitude. I have a gratitude journal that I write in all the time. And as I'm writing the things I'm grateful for, it's raising your vibration. Even if you're not feeling well, and I experience this, even when you're sick and not feeling well or just not happy, when you think about the things you're grateful for, because there are always things that you could be grateful for, it raises your vibration. So gratitude, I agree, Cornelia, is a beautiful thing to do in helping to manifest. Well, there was a wonderful discussion today. Thank you very much. We're at the little past the top of the hour, and I think we're ready for breakout rooms. So thank you, everybody, so much. And before we go, let's do our traditional, you can unmute and rub our hands together, and we can say to each other, I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you, and I am with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I am with
Love you and I'm
you.
with you. Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you, אני אוהב אתכם, אני
I
איתכם,
love you and I am with you.
ואני עוזב עכשיו,
I
ואני
love you and I am
leave now, and I'll
with
see you
you.
next week.
I love you and I am with you.
Thank
I love